Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, call meeting order. I will make the motion to adopt the agenda.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Make a motion to approve the minutes for November 12th.
Okay, I'll second that. Any questions, changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
I'll also make a motion to accept the minutes for our special meeting on the 13th. Yeah, election.
I'll second that also. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Okay, meetings attendance, huh?
Okay. Last Tuesday we had a public health meeting. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Brian talked quite a bit about some stuff. He's been kind of busy. I've got the packet here if you guys want to read it, but mostly business as usual. The only thing that we had was major when they were needing help. Some of the other girls were taking on extra duties and they divided up that extra pay amongst themselves while they had somebody short. And the new gal, I guess, is up and running. So all that pay was taken back. That was probably the big thing that centered around that meeting. On Wednesday, of course, we had our special meeting, canvass to vote. That was done. Then Thursday, we had a department head meeting out at the complex to bring all the people up to speed on the new solar project. There was a lot of questions and I think all of them were answered and I think everybody understands what's going on. To my knowledge, that some of the equipment has been dropped off and they're dropping some more off today, so it has begun. Also, with the complex, I talked to T&K Roofing. They are going to be on site today, if they're not there already. Okay, so they're on site today and they're sealing the roof today. Also on Thursday, Vicky, Frank, and I had a meeting with the bank. They were charging some service fees and she wasn't happy about that. She checked with the other banks and they weren't charging service fees. So she brought it to their attention. We sat down that Thursday morning and talked to them. A very productive meeting. They're changing some programs around within that department where we have to leave a certain balance in, which we do anyway.
Yeah.
And there won't be any fees in this program anymore. They're going to just use that balance, of course, to offset their fees. So, I mean, we kind of are, but we're not. It's not coming out as a line item. So everybody was happy about that, and we got that resolved. And then Monday, we had yesterday we had our new supervisor meeting here in the office. Lots of questions. We answered a lot of things, gave them some history, told them some things that were needing to be still done about the LP tank and the heating problems at the complex and the solar project. We brought them up to speed on that. I had some questions from the audience. All the department, not all of them, but most of the department heads were here. And yeah, I think we got some things resolved. We did come up with some people on the community action and the transfer station. Scott's going to be on the transfer station. Kevin's taking the community action. And then we never really had a formal person on a committee for the complex repairs. And I took that over. So we divided those up. We're going to have another meeting here sometime before the end of the year and divide up all the other committees before the end of the year. So yeah, action-packed week. This week's going to be bad too. So that's all I had.
I had nothing. I went to Moline, bringing it up here. Still looking at trying to get that kicked off. We're trying to get federal funding, develop our counties and bring different things in. So look at their needs. This is gonna take a while to get in because of, it's a new group. We're trying to copy off of, it goes all the way from the start of the Mississippi River all the way down for Port Authority. So there's a lot of opportunities for law enforcement, growth. Hopefully we get grants. It's going to be something it's going to be ongoing. And like down St. Louis, they do a lot for river activities and communities along the trails and counties as far as developing for grain exports, and it's even funded by DOT as far as roadway. So there's a lot of, but we're learning, and there's so much onto it. So that'll be something that one of the other supervisors, once they get into it, it's new. It's not, you're not going to be behind because we're all learning. It's the start of it. And the best thing we're going to do is go to maybe down south and find out how everybody, if we don't have to reinvent the wheel to kind of get up to speed. But there's a lot of grant opportunities, especially farming. It's going to affect that, law enforcement. A lot of the things around here could get into major housing issues and deals. But I think it's something very good. I think it's just going to take a while to get up to speed, but it's backed by the federal government. And the state, like I said, a portion of the DOT funding has to go for that right away. So we're just learning a lot. And so when you get into it, you won't be behind. It's just trying to figure it out ourselves. So the other meeting I had was we're trying to figure out through Waffle Development. I talked to the banks about trying to get some low or no interest money, and I think we'll be able to get it eventually. Southeastern Regional Planning, I've talked to them and see what we can do to grab some of that to get some housing going. And so we're kind of working toward that. And I'm going to go down and meet with the bank around 11 o'clock today to see what's going on for that. But I think there's some opportunities coming up, and there's some, like right now for Louisa County citizens, most of our housing in our towns are built before 72. I think that's the cutoff. I might be off on that, maybe 74, but for lead abatements and stuff like that, for kiddos, for safety, there's some money available. So we're just trying to get that out for maybe we can get some money going in some of our homes and in our communities. So, but let you know more on that. And I think that's it. Any input from there's no payroll changes.
Can I have the bills when you get time?
Sure, Brandon.
So last year, we ended up canceling the Miller's contract at, I believe it was $3,500, and I think it came directly out of the jail budget for some reason. Well, long story short, I tried to, it had certain things that they're supposed to do on that contract or that statement. So we tried to look into those, contact them and say, what have you done? And they had a couple of dates that they provided that they were there, but couldn't tell us anything that they'd done, period, for $3,500. Long story short, again, Menace was out there for the events. They started looking at our issues and saying preventative maintenance has not been done on anything at all.
Good catch.
The fans were full of bird nests. I think you saw some of it up there. Leaves. None of the filters have been changed, and any of them. They've had to do. Menace has had to come in and do pretty extensive work with thousands of dollars because we think anyways, we believe that Millard's has not done anything over the past few years. And secondarily, for some reason, it was a complex-wide thing, but it was coming out of the jail budget for some reason or another. So I ended up canceling that last year, and we went into kind of an agreement with Menace for about $900 to do some of that. Menace was interested in doing the entire complex, everything, actual preventative maintenance to all the units, the unit vents, filters, leaks, putting, I don't know, it's not Freon anymore, but whatever the substances are, whatever it is, into all the units. We share units with conservation and everything, so, you know, if you try to bill it out individually to public health or conservation or us, it's never gonna work because we all share some of the same heating and air conditioning vents and air conditioners. My thoughts is try to go into a long-term contract with Menace to do everything at the complex out of the maintenance fund for the complex. That's my thoughts on it. And then
One
keep
question
with
for you,
Northwest
Dan.
Mechanical.
That $3,500, they haven't been doing anything. We probably ought to go back and,
We absolutely can try.
I'm wondering if our, a third attorney can go back.
I think you have to get a report from Menace about what they've done, what they saw, what they've seen, and then get it back.
Maybe some pictures.
Yeah, and then try to.
Because
get
you and I
services.
was on the roof 2 years ago now, and how long they've been doing that, we kind of questioned.
So 2018 is, sorry, was when I first found a proposal from Millard for $3,500. That was just September of 2018. And so we've been contracting with them since 2018 at least. But I know when we had Menace out for a different issue in 2023 was when
He put the.
we found
new area in,
everything.
Yeah, and I think we had a mold mildew issue, and that's why we got Brett involved in it.
It was something, I don't remember what it was.
That one
Remember in the office?
In the conference room in the public health,
Could be.
is originally installed by another contractor where the water run into the room instead of outside.
Yeah.
Isn't Millard out of Arlington?
Mhm.
I would suggest we do it in county.
I agree, so said that.
Yeah,
too.
But I think we need to go back and
Oh,
find
yeah.
out why
They
they.
haven't done their job.
Originally, them rooftop units they did the warranty work,
Oh,
then we give them, and it was before there was ever a budget for the jail.
Gotcha. Because they said that they came every 3 months. Like they said that the preventative maintenance was done every 3 months, except for the one time in August was when we had Menace there, that was when we found that things weren't done.
You'd think they'd have some kind of a report of
Absolutely.
what they
Right.
found.
They couldn't.
I mean, we could look back to see
Well,
what we have.
And you'd have to let them in your office. You just can't walk in your guys' office area, so people would know if they're in.
No, absolutely, but on the roof, I mean, if they get up on the roof, we're not always we're gonna hear them.
Yeah.
But they don't always stop and tell us. I mean, the water people don't even stop and tell us when they're shutting the water off to the whole jail, so, I
Well,
mean.
Brent and I was up, and I think it was 2020. I don't remember, but we was up there looking at that, none of the fans worked in that little tower.
It was all full of stuff, so right there, you know that the
Right there, they
belt's
have-
not replaced, they're not cleaning the bird nest out, the debris, so I don't think they've been fulfilling their contract, and obviously nothing against them, but gotta do your job.
Yeah, that's $21,000.
Yeah, it probably is, and
I'm not here to defend them, but birds can build nests pretty fast,
yeah,
within a day or two.
this was
But I'm not, again, not
pretty
defending them.
packed in
Yeah,
mud farm.
okay,
Yeah, and you can tell the belts hadn't been ran, because the nest was on top of the belts.
okay.
Yeah, they was all weather checked and.
But they just couldn't come up with what they did.
Yeah, no,
When I
you gotta-
requested it, what'd you do here? When did you do it?
Yeah, right.
We were here, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So, probably Sean, getting with Brett, Menace and having him come out and do the whole thing and give you a contract or a scope of work and, get something signed in January probably.
Yeah.
That's our thoughts, Suzie.
No, I agree. I mean, when I've been working even on the holidays and I call them, they're great people to work with.
They're very,
Never had any problems. I mean, they're always there and,
Yeah.
explain
They
everything.
work well with us.
Everything that I sign, it's all explained in
Mhm.
paragraphs of information, exactly what they've done. So,
Well, thanks for catching
That
that.
sounds
Yeah,
like a good
it's-
idea.
Susie, we caught it, so
Yeah, good
hopefully
job.
it saved a little bit of money, but.
Yeah.
And then I would recommend keeping with Northwest Mechanical for the boilers. Brett said that's just not his area. And Northwest Mechanical seemed to be the most knowledgeable. And they've somewhat
I
fixed
believe they're the
the
ones that have been fixing that.
thermostat
Yeah.
problem, to an extent. They
Trying.
fixed it, trying to, better than anybody else. So I would stick with just those two companies. And that should do all your heating and HVAC work out there.
And I hate to say that, but Northwest didn't put the boilers in.
I know, I agree. So and maybe the contracts or the maintenance contract thing's over with, maybe the warranty's over with Miller's. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're a good company, but I know they didn't put it in, so I'm just stating that. So you guys determine what's best, but I agree, we need to get somebody that's gonna do what they say they're doing.
I mean, we still need assistance on trying to figure out how to control the heat, because we can't have our cooks cooking in 100-degree heat when it's 30 degrees outside. I
We know
mean,
what it's gonna take, we just can't afford
and
it.
unfortunately, I mean, it's hot. It's
Yeah.
hot down there.
They're all air controlled, that's why the compressor runs all the time, and it's just an old system, but
But we have to do something, because
Yes.
those ladies are gonna pass out one of these days, and then we're gonna be, I don't know who's cooking. Sean, are you available?
I can cook.
Yeah, me too.
Roll a grill up there, we're good to go.
I hear you.
So is it a matter of switching over to electronic solenoids for the zoning?
I think we had a bid, it was like 100 and some thousand.
Oh, it was 400, something thousand.
Yeah. It
Cause
was
you guys still
expensive.
have heat issues?
Cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now we're hot, but by the time cold winter comes, we'll be freezing.
Once it gets to -10, we'll be fine.
Yeah, but then we'll be cold, so.
What about manual sharing valves? Are they cut
I have
down?
to manually turn them off in the breaker in certain areas and walk around, just turn them off. That's the one.
We were rocking windows yesterday.
Get a big.
Yeah.
Tell you, last week was like 96 degrees in Tucson. It was hot. We should have been. wearing
Anything else,
shorts.
Brandon?
No, that's just that's what we think would be best and
I agree.
probably honestly cheaper for better service.
So, have him service all the outside little units too.
Yeah,
Could you come up with,
Valves for that.
I don't know if they're gonna furnish, or maybe, do we need to contact them and see if they can furnish us a show that they've been up here log?
what's that?
A log for repairs?
Menace?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Millards.
No, Miller's, yeah, well, that's
Since
what we,
18.
I mean, we can kind
You
of
asked
look
for-
back and see what, because sometimes they wrote on their invoices when they sent it. We'd have to research that and see what they wrote, and then see what they can give
because
us.
it's quarterly.
Correct. Unless we called them in between, yeah.
Do they leave any kind of paperwork inside the 4
Not normally.
utility rooms on each corner of the jail?
no,
Okay.
no, unless that's got sent to the auditors and I don't know.
Well, look,
I don't think I've ever seen anything.
And I'll say that when Menace is there, he always stops and tells us exactly what he's done,
Yep.
that he's here, 2, what he's gonna do, 3, they like really keep good communication with us.
That's worth a lot.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep.
Jacob,
Conservation's just been rocking it. The maintenance side's getting ready for fall and winter, getting skid steer out. He's mulching today at Chinkapin Bluffs, getting the trail edges cleaned up. Honeysuckle removal, there's so much work, but it's a good start, I think, from going outside in. The naturalists are gonna move soon here. January 1, labor laws have made them go from an exempt employee to a non-exempt employee. In order to become an exempt employee, you have to have made so much in a year, or I'm sorry, in a week. And so that law's changed and all that is up. There used to be something like $300 or $400, and now it's like 1,000 and I think it's 1,100 some. So they're not going to meet that threshold. So they become non-exempt employees, and they'll start gaining comp time at the same rate that the other non-exempt employees will at 1.5. It's not going to change their pay at all. They'll just be able to earn.
oh, we will.
They
They'll make more.
no, they just get comp time only.
Yeah, but they'll make more because they don't have to work as much. So it's changed quite a bit because you gotta be careful in comp time too, because are you gonna allow, is it conservation gonna allow them to build it up?
Yeah, we had quite a conversation
This,
about that.
we're trying to
So
put something in
that
place.
will, because you get paid comp time when you leave, and so it does change your pay.
We have it's a pretty low top out. I think it's like 120 hours or something.
But they were gonna take their time off in the winter when it
Yep.
wasn't busy.
Yeah.
And
We have a
when we're
whole
not having anything else going on.
Okay.
you
thing
know,
in place
so,
to stop that from happening, because I've heard of
Yeah.
other scenarios where people have almost 1,000 hours just waiting there, but
See it every time.
correct, and so I don't think that'll be a problem, especially with our naturalists, because in winter time, that's the natural time to want to, you work 70 hours a week in the summer.
Yeah.
You get your winter off.
Okay.
Anyway, Tanner and I went to a fire refresher class, so we're all good and certified there. Tanner cleaned out some of our hunting blinds for hunting season, our handicap accessible blinds. So they're able to drive right up to them in their little, not called sheds or shacks. They're really nice, I think, but bunch of windows and really used. I think we have 5 already this year that are signed up to use them. The naturalists have been doing grants for a while now, and we just got wind that we got a language accessibility grant for those who have physical ailments that can't swim necessarily, or not swim, but like get into a canoe or a kayak or go wading for dip nets, those scenarios. So I think she's doing a beach down at Langwood, just kind of doing some dirt work and then putting in some sand. We've watered, the water level's been maintained. We fixed some stuff there. So she got $6,876 from community foundations, and then an additional $3,306 for environmental education habitat supplies. Basically being able to bring Iowa habitat into the classrooms, because during the summer and spring and fall we can take them out all we want, but as soon as it gets cold out, the students in the classrooms they can't touch and feel. So these supplies are really high end, really nice supplies that we'll be able to bring into the classrooms.
Good too.
Also in the works is a grant for an aerator at Virginia Grove Pond. They did a bunch of water testing and fish sampling. I'm trying to think of other things, depth testing, temperature, all sorts of stuff our naturalists did. And they figured out that an aerator would help everything there. There's just so little influx and there's no outflux. So it's kind of just a big stagnant little thing. So getting some air in there will really spur everything up.
Warned you the first time you started up, if you let it run too long, you'll kill all your fish. So I have.
That's good to know.
Yeah, just go slow.
Go
and do it
slow.
over a period of
Solar
time.
powered?
Yeah, I think it will be. Yeah, it's a whole contraption there. I think it'd be really neat if we get it. If that one hasn't been awarded, that's just in the works.
So it'll make ice unsafe for ice fishing?
That's a good question, and I don't
Some
know.
of them do.
Correct, absolutely. Like some of the big
They'll
ones.
keep a part of the pond open if it's a good one.
Yeah. And it may be that just you can't ice fish there anymore, or
Right.
I don't see why we would ever turn them off in the winter, because that's when they need to.
That's clean ice the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Good deal.
I got one thing for you. We also won the grant for the firearms range,
Oh, nice.
so we got fully funded.
Epic.
I just said something about fire, so we're wondering, whenever you're ready, if we can burn that whole section off pretty much.
Let's do it this fall.
Whenever you want to do it.
Okay.
We'll probably start construction stuff in April.
Yeah, this fall probably better then.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll get together.
And then, The city will be letting us borrow their backhoe and some manpower to help us kind of level out the land out there and get things ready.
Mhm.
But yeah, it got completely fully funded, so.
Kind of a backstop to that.
We'll bring in a bunch of dirt. Hopefully we get railroad ties to set up a barrier
Yeah.
so the dirt doesn't kind of fall down. Other than that, it's still about 10 feet high for about 75 feet. There's nothing behind it for miles.
Do you need a street sweeper for anything else there?
We might
Yeah.
move rocking around.
Absolutely.
The Kemper's offered to do that too, so. It won't be the most extravagant thing in the world, but we got exactly what we asked for.
Good start.
It'll be
Good
good for us, I think,
Yep.
so, and won't cost any money.
You don't have to
That's
travel
good.
anymore. You
Nope,
just do it.
walk right out back, so.
Muscatine's trying to do one up by the airport.
I heard that. So,
Back before I came down in 2015 or so, I designed a range for them out west of town. And it was all go, and then some people from out of town came in and killed it. Yeah. But so far, so good. We'll start in April
Yeah.
and get that burn off and see what we got to deal with, because you can't tell right now.
Yeah, I'd love to get it, I think, done before solar gets in. Are they, because they're kind of both over there, right?
Yeah, the solar people's got their stuff.
Okay,
But
so we have to wait for it to
It will
get
be
in
right on the
before-
edge, right on the edge of the concrete where it curves around the jail.
Mhm.
That's 100 yards.
Okay.
So everything that direction.
Okay.
The solar will be 40, 50 more yards further to the north.
Sweet.
So you'll be fine.
Great, yeah, that sounds good, we can do that.
That's all I got. I was waiting for the news, though.
Excellent.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. We got 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and do 13, 14, I think it's a mistake. It's got, we'll just take off the bottom of 13 and leave it on 14 because it's doubling up there.
No, the 14 is because June was.
It says,
Right, that's for the board for you, but then this one is for the.
Oh,
It's up
gotcha.
for you.
Replace the number. Gotcha.
But I don't know if we can do it.
So let's go ahead and do 13.
All right, well, based on our conversation yesterday, I guess I would recommend Scott for the transfer station and Kevin for the community
Should
action.
be a good fit. Yeah.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Congratulations, guys. You'll enjoy both of them. I'm on both of them. And Kevin's going to the 115 meeting down at Burlington and sitting into it, right? And then January 3rd, I think is when Joe's having, 1st of January sometime. It was January 20th. We're having their meeting there. I won't be there, but you'll enjoy it. Thank you, guys. Okay, that's done. And did I get a motion to?
Do 16.
Yeah, we can do 16. You have that?
Yep.
I can hand it to you right
Okay.
What if we don't pass it? Save you some time. That work?
No.
All right. I'll make a motion to accept resolution 202441, which is recounting the votes in district number 1 of Louisa County.
All right.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
I tried, Susan,
I
sorry.
appreciate that.
Could have voted no,
Three,
but it's
four,
still
four.
passed.
How's that come about? Is that ordered by the state?
Yeah, they filed paperwork and ordered it. If we would have voted it down, we'd end up in court, so.
Adam, once we get the public hearing open now. What's that?
We can't open the public hearing for about 2 minutes, if that watch is right.
I can give you a quick update on 92, I guess.
Sounds good.
Good.
So, last week, Mike and Justin went to the construction update meeting on 92. And it sounds like they're aiming for calendar December 5th or 6th, we can get it done. Now in the fall, spring, I don't know. So it's outside of our control. It is in our project and all that. I do know, I was up there yesterday and they've got some of the curb radiuses poured up at Cotter and some of those other things. So they have been working. I don't know if they're working by today or not, so. So progress there, there's not gonna be a detour,
that fall detour through Junction and all that is not gonna happen this year. Talking with them, you know, I asked them to, you know, in the spring if they could prioritize getting to X.
Hold yourself. So
Yep.
let's go ahead and open the public hearing.
Okay, I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Public hearing is not open. Okay, good.
Asked them to prioritize get through X 17 done first because, you know, whether it's us hauling rock north or people getting to work north, it'd be nice to just have that done first. And they said they would try, but again, it is. The contractors, means and methods, right? You can't tell them exactly what to do. So anyway, we've spoken our piece on it. So, doing that. A thing that we are going to look at is west of the quarry there. We got some guardrail that was put up at some point. As far as I know, it's never been used. And it really prevents us from being able to grade those shoulders. So I'm going to do a study here the next few weeks to look at and see, you know, a crash history. Is it that if we can just remove that and turn it back into a regular road section, you know, just looking at it, it's not any worse than what we have on 99 or X37 or anything like that. So anyway, we'll work on that here over the winter. Right now the guys are out hauling rock and stuff like that. It's too wet to blade or mow and all that. So we again pushing. The rest of this week will be rock hauling, and then next week we're gonna get our sand and salt and all that ready to go. We'll probably start working on getting our wings and getting ready for winter. Our new temp hire guy is gonna come in on for Friday and do his training and get some driving time and all that. So it's planned for that.
How do you add into insurance? He has to be
He's not insurance
No.
eligible.
for driving vehicle.
He's got to pass his DOT stuff and our work steps training.
Drug testing, then he can become
Yes, he actually did that last Monday.
okay.
So yeah, so he'll.
Do we have to notify anybody that he's on driving our equipment or?
I don't know. We let the auditors know, but nothing. I don't think anything.
Let's talk to our insurance, make sure we're covered in case something happens.
Okay. So that's going on there. We had talked about the regionally significant projects thing. I had submitted one project already for the K Road Bridge. The reason I think it's regionally significant is it ties grain into Oakville and ties it into the river and then feed going west and all that. So I said it connects us to two ports in Des Moines County and Oakville and all that. So that's the first one. The other one I'm working on is I am looking at tie 91 or maybe getting that last north 3 miles of X61 done up there. It's asphalt. I was thinking, well, you know, that there has been push to complete the Mississippi River Trail. I'm like, well, what if we concreted the whole thing and paved the shoulders all as one project? Because that, to me, that's the most.
It's where it needs to be.
Yeah. So, gonna talk to planning about that and have that as on kind of our wish list of projects. So.
Do you have two bridges that we're trying to get funded or just?
I have one. I actually did our meeting with our bridge inspector on Friday. And one that's going to have to go on the list is that one up at Grandview.
Okay.
It was done in 1986. They put like a precast deck on it on wood piles and piles of crap, and the deck is cracking up. So that's one I would add on there too.
What do you think our chances of getting full funding on that?
I have no clue.
We talked to Brian Carter, cause he got a bunch of bridges going in also.
I talked to him couple weeks ago, and I think they're pursuing more buildings on their end. I actually tried to call Zach yesterday to see kind of what they're looking for. Are they looking for, you know, a $500,000 project for a small bridge? Are they looking a big one? So,
What they're looking at is Southeast Regional Planning is trying to put their counties that they cover together to go after. Miller Meeks is wanting to gather these projects up to do a one group funding, and they're trying to make it a good number for we can get a lot of this stuff funded.
yeah. And, you know, I guess my, you know, dream would be to have X6199 Great River Road concreted all the way from that county to county, you know, but I don't know if that's something they're looking forward to not.
It's something probably, we probably ought to have a couple projects bid ready or get bid and have a number ready for
Yeah.
approval, because there's some things going down for infrastructure, and that's what they're trying to do is get some infrastructure bills through, and we're just trying to get into it before we get
Yeah.
some of this done at
Yeah.
all taxpayers' expense.
Well, if I could, you know, I would have concrete from Muscatine County line all the way down to
Be sweet.
Des Moines County line. We'd have paved shoulders. Yeah, it would allow for some bike. I mean, again, it's not like a perfect trail, but it making the pavement wider and making it safer.
With a
and all that.
paver with a long tail on it, so we don't get this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So.
No, great.
So that's what I'm thinking there. You know, kind of again in the office, I'm working on some project estimates for some bridges and buildings and equipment and all those kind of things, and kind of figuring out what we want, what the next round of projects and things is looking like. So,
Sounds good.
I don't know. I guess that's it for now. So if you have any
Good.
questions or anything,
Anybody?
let me know.
I see you got your trains, saw the bill.
Yep. We actually tried a different outfit, kind of price it out, and that's
You have to do that every year.
honestly from until now, we'd always gone through a company that we
Keep putting your chains on every year is what I'm saying.
depending on the year, right? Usually a motor grader will take 4 chains, go around all four back tires, and they're each, geez, I don't know, $700-800 a piece. So, you know, every $250,000 motor grader has $4,000 worth of chains on it, and hopefully those will last a winter. They do last a little bit better on those because they're generally on gravel. Our dump trucks all have chains, and those are, you know, depending on the event, right? If it's a snow event and we're on snow, they work okay. If it's an icy event and it's getting chain on that,
You see what they're doing now? They have this system that they put on there, it's hydraulic ran, and it drops the chain down, and the semis are going to it now for mountain driving, so when you put, instead of getting out putting chains, it drops the thing down, the chain swings in front of so you're not running chains 100%.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's supposed to cut down, but chain cost has doubled the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, and in 2 or 3 years, when we buy our next grader, you know, I'm getting some pressure from our guys to get a 6-wheel drive that doesn't need chains, but then you're adding $70,000 to the machine, but then does it add up or whatever? So
It'll make it trade off better. Going away and justify.
but so we're actually we're on a cycle now every 13 or 14 years where we're gonna trade them off. So I mean, potentially next round are getting things I'll never see the end of their life. That's crazy, right? But
Anything else?
thank you. No, so, all right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Are you, okay, on this public hearing, are you here for the Trend Corporation? Who's,
No, he's probably here for the Keller subdivision.
who's anybody representing the Trend Corporation?
No, Jacob really should have stayed here. He's the one that explained that.
Mhm.
It's kind of a funny deal because Training Corps is giving county
Yeah.
easement through a property to get to Indian Slough, but it's kind of the exact opposite of most public hearings.
Yeah. It's kind of a shared driveway with some landowners, and
Is there a 2080 on that, or?
I
What
didn't
do we
see
got?
one.
I think by that paperwork a couple weeks ago, it's just gonna be a legal
Where
easement.
they, exactly.
I think there'd be some kind of agreement.
Well, that's the easement. Everybody
The
signed the easement.
Yeah.
Jacob, when we had our conservation meeting, didn't act like it was a big deal. You're right, it's kind of a backwards way of doing it, but everybody was in agreement. It was just basically sign the papers so people can have access. So,
And it's something the county don't access a lot the way Training Corps talk.
um,
Oh, we'll leave it open for a little longer.
Is it gonna be a public? There's no access?
Just know,
No, I think it's just for conservation
Yeah.
employees.
Yeah.
Good question, Randy. So do we want to go on with the Keller subdivision?
We're waiting
Well,
for
we're for
Brian.
Brian right there.
there he is.
That's what we're. Hi, Brian. Morning. Take it on up.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Timing there is.
I don't know if you guys know where this is at, but
Fort
they're keeping the house. The subdivision.
And they're on the side of a hill.
No, it's down at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So they're keeping that to silver ground.
Everything's totally like this.
There it is.
Other than that,
So this little deal has nothing to do with it.
No, that is it.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah. This right here. That's it.
Oh, yeah, got it.
Yeah. They're selling to them. There they got special needs too.
So they're selling the green square, keeping this part.
They're selling.
About 130.
You're selling that wire. That's pretty excited to sell.
But then sell the house, and I think 6 acres. I think they're gonna put
Through gallery here.
three homesteads. They'll probably buy that coast ground too.
Yeah.
They want a community down here.
I didn't know if you'd represent them or what was going on.
Well, I didn't know that.
Okay, you just, all right.
I just kind of.
All right.
Come on, we need to actually.
Discuss Cross Road, they want to keep this shit. That's the reason it helps with subdivisions.
Right.
And then mention the cross cemetery sits there. So is what that flyer, that's the way I did it.
All right.
There is a check that comes up in there.
Okay.
General area.
Then I get paid to do that stuff. This passes all.
Yep. Everybody's okay to.
Access, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Are we ready for a motion?
Sure, go
I'll
ahead.
make a motion that we approve the Keller subdivision.
Resolution 202440.
Yeah.
Is that a second?
Yep.
Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Sign your names above.
No, but I don't get in trouble.
I can put a stopper at the bottom too. Well, there's not much place on that.
Yeah.
So I'll have to.
Brian, have you heard anything about, any ground?
Yep,
or
I can go.
Langwood
Yeah, and then,
that's been sold to those
I can
folks?
notarize it when I get down in the.
I got notarized,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
No, I heard they bought some north of Langwood. They'll probably buy that coast ground too.
There's some people in this.
Okay.
And that cook down on the bottom, you mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, what you're talking about on
I
that.
know somebody else is interested. in it.
I know they wanna get a community going and.
Yeah, sure.
I
I'll
see.
let you sign up right there.
Yeah.
No?
Hey, guys,
Yep.
we need to probably put something out
Ross, did you need them? How much did you need?
to search for another.
Louisa County zoning.
Yeah, I'm not gonna record it together, I'm still waiting for a
Can you just put it in
document.
for
I'll get that
Yeah,
sent
we
to you.
have to.
Yeah.
So can we table that 14th?
I'll have the
please?
calendar
Have somebody
come out,
table that.
Is it that person can be anywhere in the county? It's not
Yeah.
awards or anything?
No.
But we need to advertise.
But I think we need to advertise
All right.
for that, at least get it out.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks.
For a couple of weeks at least, I would think.
Yes, yeah, I'll make a motion. We table number
14.
at 14 about replacing the solid waste part.
Okay, second.
Okay, we'll table
Thank you.
it. Thank you, see you later. Okay, we've had, we talked about this the other day for 15 minutes, so 17 minutes.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Public hearing is not closed. I don't think there's any, we got claims. We had a chance to review them at least. Look at them.
I did.
You can have these back.
$90,000 worth of poll workers. The price of an
And it wasn't
election.
enough.
And there wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Whoever stapled mine together, it's. well, that's what it's like. Turns over.
Just so it's on the floor, I'll make a motion to accept the claims for $238,735.97.
Check on that, just to make sure that anytime we have employees, make sure that they're.
I have one thing. And allow them to be tabled. Do we need to check it out to see if we can even do it? Because he hasn't resigned. He just doesn't show up.
Yeah, well, we mentioned it. I'm just- make sure we're okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, we don't have any other, has everything been signed? You got initial that copy?
Yeah, I've initialed this, nobody else.
Let's do that before we adjourn. Yeah, I don't think since they already had to do it, I have to probably. Since we did sign that.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine wasn't like that. I don't know what she's talking about.
Did we get, LP at the jail yet?
Not to my knowledge. I think it has to be down below 20.
Right.
To transport, I think. And I, haven't been out there to look.
That's fine, just, it's on my list.
But they're supposed to be monitoring it, but when they, we sign that agreement, they monitor the tank and they fill it when they see it's down, is what it's supposed to be.
Well, it doesn't hurt to keep an eye on it.
Oh,
'cause
heck no.
everybody makes mistakes, so.
Okay, there's no other business that need to be brought forth.
Motion for adjournment.
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.